Hi friends, what's up? It's Jaime here. Okay, welcome back to another Fangirl Fridays video. For today's Fangirl Fridays video, I'm gonna be talking about a bunch of the music that I've been listening to recently and just like been absolutely obsessed with. So I want to say about like 4 months ago, I made another Fangirl Fridays video where I was talking about like all the music I was listening to. But like I just said, that video is kind of old at this point. So this video is kind of serving as a bit of a refresher and a more like updated look into the music I'm listening to right now at this moment of when I'm recording this video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so for this video, I'm gonna be mostly talking about like albums that I've been listening to recently. And the first one, you might have been able to guess from the title of this video, it's Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter. I love this album. I love it so much. It came out on July 15th of this year, which honestly I didn't even realize until I looked it up, like that it's been a month since the album's been out. That kind of completely went over my head. But anyway, I love this album. I was super excited when it was announced. I was like really excited for it to be released, and Miss Sabrina Carpenter did not disappoint. Oh my god, I can't stop saying it. I love this album. I've always been like a long time Sabrina Carpenter fan. Like I've always like loved her music for years now. But this is definitely, I feel like she really outdid herself with this album. I think it's like genuinely the best one that she's put out. I also really love, okay, so fun fact. So I've been like trying to like, you know, kind of like not like really like force him, but like, you know, so when me and my boyfriend are driving, like, and when I say we're driving, I mean me driving, I'm the one driving, when we're like in my car and we're like driving around places like whatnot, like, you know, I'm playing my music because my car is like hooked up to like my Bluetooth, or my Bluetooth is hooked up to my car, whatever, you know what I mean. And so, you know, I'm playing my music, and something one album in particular that I've been playing just over and over again nonstop is Emails I Can't Send. And although I have been unable to convert him into a Taylor Swift stan, I have successfully, pretty much for the most part, converted him to be a Sabrina Carpenter stan, because he genuinely really likes the album too, and that made me really happy, because, you know, I'm just like, yes, my influence is prevailing. But yeah, so I really love this album. I love like every song on it, but if I had to narrow it down to like my top 3 favorite songs, definitely How Many Things is my absolute favorite song on the album. I just think it's so beautiful and sad and heartbreaking, and you guys know I love me a good sad song. And then I also, okay, second favorite, I think I'm gonna have to go with Tornado Warnings. I just think it's such a vibe. I really love that song a lot. And then honestly, the third spot for top 3 is kind of a tie between Read Your Mind and Because I Liked a Boy. I just really like both the songs equally. I don't know if I can pick one to be like the official third spot, so yeah, it's a tie. But in case you have not listened to this album, go listen to it. Again, How Many Things, Tornado Warnings, Read Your Mind, Because I Liked a Boy. Those are like my recommendations specifically from the album, but the whole thing is a masterpiece. I love it. Chef's kiss. It's fantastic. Okay, so the next album I want to talk about is I Used to Think I Could Fly by Tate McRae. I was just like with Emails I Can't Send. I was super excited for the release of this album, mainly because this is Tate's like this is her debut album. So I was just, you know, very like I was very much anticipating the release of this album. I was really excited when it finally dropped. And I want to say this album came out the same day that Stranger Things season 4 volume 1 came out, so I think that was like May 27th. I just remember being really excited for like multiple things that day, so I think that's why. I'm pretty sure that that's the day it came out. But again, I was really excited for this album, and Tate did not disappoint. I've always loved like every song Tate has like ever put out ever. And I just think this album is just like such a perfect like blend of like very like fun, like upbeat upbeat doesn't really feel like the right word, because a lot of the songs are very like kind of they're very sassy, and they're very much like calling out like bullshit and stuff, you know. There's like a word I was trying to think of, but that was the best I could come up with. But yeah, so like songs like that, and then also like, you know, very heartbreaking ballads that will make you cry. And again, I really like this album. I love listening to it when I'm in my car. I've made my boyfriend listen to it like a million times. I love listening to it when I'm in the shower. I really love this album. And if I had to pick 3 songs as like my top 3, that's what I'm just gonna do for like each album that I talk about. I would have to say that I think You're So Cool is my favorite. Honestly, I feel like You're So Cool and What's Your Problem are kind of interchangeable for me, but I think I'm gonna still say You're So Cool is my favorite, and then What's Your Problem as my second favorite, and then for my third favorite, I'm gonna say I Still Say Goodnight, because I really love that song. I really love to like belt that song in my car. It's very heartbreaking, and I love it. It's a really good song. I feel like the whole album is really great. It's really just like such a good album. I love the way it's put together. And so if you haven't listened to it, please go listen to it, because it's so good. But again, if you want like a place to start, I really recommend You're So Cool, What's Your Problem, and I Still Say Goodnight. Okay, so this next album I'm going to be talking about is Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers, which, fun fact, actually came out on my brother's birthday in 2020. So that's a fun little tidbit. But yeah, so the main reason why I actually like wanted to listen to Phoebe Bridgers' music in the first place is actually because of Taylor Swift. I remember Taylor saying in like some interview for something, I can't remember exactly for what, it actually might have been a Red interview now that I'm thinking about it, but anyway, I remember her saying, basically talking about like how much she loves Phoebe Bridgers and how like Phoebe Bridgers could sing like literally anything and she would listen to it. So there's that. And then also, speaking of Red, when Taylor re-released her album Red, as a part of that re-release, she also released put songs on Red that were previously unreleased. One of those songs being Nothing New, which is just one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs like ever, first of all. But also on that song, so Phoebe Bridgers is featured on Nothing New, which is really cool because I had like vaguely heard of Phoebe Bridgers before because I have some friends who like listen to her. But I had never like heard her singing voice. I had never heard any of her songs before. So getting to hear her on Nothing New was really cool because I was like, oh, she has a really nice voice. I should maybe like check out some of her songs. And so finally, like, it took me a while because I just kind of kept forgetting to, but finally I sat down and like listened to basically like her entire discography, and I get it. I understand what Taylor was saying because I was not disappointed. I love Phoebe Bridgers. I love her. I feel like Phoebe Bridgers' voice and a lot of her songs give off a very like, and I'm sorry I'm about to speak in Taylor Swift terms, so if you don't really know Taylor Swift's albums or songs, this isn't really gonna make sense to you. But they give off like a very like Folklore, Evermore vibe, and Folklore and Evermore are like two of my favorite Taylor Swift albums. So I really love it. I love that's like, at least to me, maybe it's just me, but those are like the vibes that I feel like a lot of Phoebe Bridgers songs give off. And again, I really love it, and I feel like that definitely like also like includes Punisher. I really like this album a lot. I also liked her other album, Stranger in the Alps, but I definitely think of the two, Punisher is my favorite. Particularly I really love Moon Song, and I love Savior Complex. It's kind of funny because I feel like I liked Savior Complex like the first time I listened to the album, but I wasn't like, it took a couple of listens for like me to like really fall in love with it, and now I really love that song, so it's like my second favorite. Moon Song is still my favorite, but Savior Complex is a pretty close second. And then I would definitely say my third favorite is Chinese Satellite. I really like that song too. Although I will say Halloween is like a close, it's close to that one. But yeah, so I really like, I feel like if you like Taylor Swift's like, if you like Folklore, if you like Evermore, if you like Carolina, which is also a really great song, and I love that song, and I've listened to that one like a lot recently. I definitely think that you would like Phoebe Bridgers, like whole like kind of like vibe. Again, I think personally, I think that both Stranger in the Alps and also Punisher are really good albums, but personally, I feel like start with Punisher. I think it's really really good if you want to like check out Phoebe Bridgers. Yeah, highly recommend. So the next album I'm going to be talking about is Special by Lizzo, which funny enough, I didn't actually remember until just now when I looked it up that Special actually came out the same day that Emails I Can't Send came out. So honestly, July 15th was just a really great day for music. But yeah, so I have been a very big Lizzo fan for so long. I love Lizzo. How could you not love Lizzo? Like, if you don't love Lizzo, I don't trust you at all. I do not trust you. One of my favorite songs like of all time is Truth Hurts by Lizzo. I love that song. I think it's so fun. I think it's so iconic. It's one of my favorite songs of just all time. And also just one of my favorite Lizzo songs of all time. I love Lizzo. I also watched her, sorry, this is like not about, well, I guess, you know, it actually is kind of about the album. Recently Lizzo was on an episode of Hot Ones, you know the show where it's like, celebrities come on and they like do like an interview as they're like eating like really like spicy wings, that one. She was on an episode of that, and I really have like been getting into that show recently. And I loved her episode. I thought it was so funny. I also really loved hearing her talk about her creative process, because that's just one of my favorite things in general, is like hearing like different artists like talk about like their creative process. It's so interesting to me. And literally like Lizzo could be talking about like the dirt like on her shoes, and I would be so enthralled. I'd be like, tell me more. Tell me more. But yeah, I loved hearing her talk about like her whole like process, just like with music in general, but then also like with this album specifically. So anyway, back to Special. You know, About Damn Time, I think it's a great song. I think it's a great lead single. It's such a fun like summer song. I know it's been like everywhere on like all the social medias, especially TikTok. But honestly, I haven't gotten sick of it at all, which I think is just honestly a true testament of Lizzo's power to create like such a hit like that. But personally, my favorite songs on Special that I want to talk about are, well, first, my absolute favorite song on Special is To Be Loved. Okay, so this might seem kind of dumb, but I promise it relates. Okay, so I am a really big Dancing with the Stars fan. I am not a very good dancer. I can't dance. I cannot dance to save my life. But I've been watching Dancing with the Stars for years. And so I like to pretend like I know things about dance sometimes. And so listening to Be Loved the first time, like immediately I just had like this mental like picture in my head of like I could see like a dance on Dancing with the Stars, like to that song specifically, like for like a jive or something. I don't know. I just thought, just to me, it feels like a very like a jivey song. So I don't know why that was like the thing that I thought of, but I really really love that song. That song like really makes me want to dance. Again, I can't dance, but that song makes me want to dance, and it's really fun. And then I would have to say my second favorite song on Special is probably Girls. I know obviously there was like that whole situation with the slur in the song. I'm very glad that Lizzo removed it in such a timely manner. It honestly just made me like appreciate her even more as an artist. The fact that she was able to like handle that situation like very efficiently and like professionally. But yeah, I really really love that song. I think it's just so many like Lizzo songs are fun songs. Like, I feel like I can describe pretty much almost every Lizzo song as like a fun song, but Girls is really, really fun. I love it a lot. And then I would say my third favorite song on Special would have to be The Sign. I think it's just a perfect like opening song to the album. It's so fun. I loved hearing her talk about it on Hot Ones. I really, really like that song a lot. But yeah, so if for some reason you have not listened to Special, or for some reason you haven't listened to Lizzo, you need to get on that, because what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Go listen to some Lizzo, please. I'm begging you, because I love her. I think she's great, and Special's a great album. Go stream it. Okay, the last thing I wanted to touch on in this video isn't an album, it's just in like a specific artist, because she has not released an album yet, but I'm very eagerly waiting for her to eventually release like an EP or an album or something, because she's so talented and I love her songs that she's released so far. And so that artist would be Renee Rapp. I love Renee Rapp. If you don't know, Renee Rapp, she is an actress. Particularly, I know her from Broadway because she was Regina George in Mean Girls for a bit. She's super, super talented. I actually got to see her live a couple of years ago, which is, it's kind of crazy to think about how it was a couple of years ago at this point. But I think it was in 2019 when I saw her perform in Bryant Park, because they do like Broadway in Bryant Park like every year. Again, well, actually, I don't know if they did it in 2020, but like generally they do like Broadway in Bryant Park, which is when a bunch of like Broadway stars from various Broadway shows will come and perform like various songs from those shows. But yeah, so I actually got to see Renee Rapp live performing. I believe she was performing Someone Gets Hurt for Mean Girls, which I really love that song. And again, she's so talented, and I have the video of that I love her. She's so cool, and she's so talented, and oh my god, she's recently started releasing like her own songs, and I'm just like they're so good. I love them so much. I finally got around to listening to them because, again, like with Phoebe Bridgers, for some reason I just kept forgetting to listen to Renee Rapp's songs. And man, I can't believe it took me so long because these songs are so good. So sorry. As of right now, Renee Rapp only has 2 songs out, Tattoos and In the Kitchen, and they're so good. They are so good. Please go listen to them. They're phenomenal. I love them. They are what got me through having to go to fucking jury duty this past week, because fun fact, I had to go to jury duty because that was a thing that I had to do. And so when I was riding the train to get to the courthouse, I was just like playing In the Kitchen and Tattoos. Like, I had them on repeat. Like, they were just they were what got me through these difficult times. But yeah, I would definitely say, again, they're both really good songs, but In the Kitchen is my personal favorite of the two. Again, just, there's not really much else to say. They're just extremely, extremely good songs. I think that she's an extremely talented, like, songwriter too. Like, again, it's like, leave some talent for the rest of us. Like, God. I love her lyrics a lot. I think they're so good. So go listen to those songs. Again, I don't know if there are plans for like an EP or an album, but I hope so. I really, really hope so. She's very talented. She has the voice of an angel. You will be doing yourself a favor. Go listen to her. Okay, so that is all I have for today's Fangirl Fridays video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments who you are listening to right now. Like who's your favorite artist of all time, but then who are the artists that you're listening to at this moment? Because personally, like I have like a bunch of artists who are like some of like my all-time favorite artists, but it doesn't mean that I'm like always listening to them like at every like second of every day. I tend to kind of go through a rotation depending on like what's coming out, and then also just like what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, so again, these are just what I'm listening to right now, but I'm still listening to like the artists I mentioned in my last like Fangirl Fridays video where I was talking about music. But yeah, again, like let me know down below in the comments, who are you guys listening to right now? And based on who I mentioned in this video, if you think that I would like them if I did not mention them. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.